I feel superhuman. I can hold up the sun.
I really wanted to share on this one because the completion seemed like what really transformed my life when it came to the anger.
It's not, I don't have any pain in my knee.
And I had an x-ray of my neck done and all this stuff, and it turns out that all of those issues are gone. Like my soon-to-be ex-husband, who we have 100% amicably are better friends and in a better place now with raising our children than we were before.
I'm done with my dad. And I have been working on my dad for years and years and years and years. I got 26 years sobriety, and how many 4 steps I've done on my dad. And it's amazing. It's amazing. And I feel like I've lost 50 pounds.
Yeah, so it cleared, and I've never had one since, and it's been, 4 or 5 years.
So you cleared your UTI infection with one ERT.
I think it was Tina was up here, and she just immediately started crying because when it leaves your body. And you can feel it leave your body, that's what it was. And it was something that my mother and my grandmother said when I was in utero.
This course definitely already paid for itself for me. Oh yeah, the value is way more than what this course costs. Because, the venue thing happened. That's just one venue out of all the venues we played at, offering to pay us 3 times more than last year.
And I feel like I'm a different person, and my life has changed.
So Arlene, are you saying that you had a lot of emotional pain around your childhood and how you grew up? And that you released a lot of it in the last few days?
Yes.
And how much better do you feel now?
The pain in my shoulder is gone, which I've had for years. You showed me the way that I can do it because I'm coming into my power.
Yeah.
Yes.
That there was just breakthrough in my vision. My vision was just flatlined for the last 4 years of my life, and I had no vision. So I went home that weekend and thought about it. I knew there was a problem because I said, Lord, what is it? And he showed me, but I didn't know how to get past it, really didn't. So in July, that just opened up the floodgates, and since that time, if some of you have been on the money phone calls each week, the doors open up for me for this next year for anywhere from $5.5 to $10 million in business.
And one that I removed all the pain that I suffered with my parent, with my father. All this pain, they went away. No more pain, no more arthritis, no more anything.
I had to go back, and I could only go back as far as my grandfather, but I got to see where that all started, and I got to go back that far to clear all that energy, and it came forward again. He used to rape my mother. That's just the both sides of the family, but I got to clear all that energy from both sides.
There's a medication that helps me eat. It's called Creon. It helps me digest my food because I'm missing part of my pancreas. I am off that.
Wow. I think it worked the ERT worked for me because I'm open to sharing, and I'm typically a very closed off person. I don't want to share. So I think it just the fact that I'm up here sharing shows that it works.
Well, you look very expanded.
Okay.
Right? Because I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but Eric used to look kind of inwardly drawn.
Thank you.
Now he looks outwardly expanded, right?
If it wasn't for him, right? I invested so much money into self-development programs from other coaches, learning different things like NLP. I graduated psychology degree in social behavior because I wanted to learn how to fix myself. Mm-hmm. If I am a refugee child born in a refugee camp, bombs, grenades, whatever you want to call it, right? Landmines, and I was happy to get through all that thanks to this wonderful man right here.
I feel a lot more hopeful about my life.
I have a lot more joy and love in my life.
People started to treat me differently, and the people I would meet, especially the men I would meet, were just totally different, a totally different class of person. It was like I got picked up and dropped into another planet. So I met him within a couple of months, and we're now married, and he's a wonderful, sweet, kind, respectful.
I have lost 40 pounds. You know, I'd been to the traditional therapy, acupuncture, every shaman that I knew to work with. I just had tried it all at that point. I've got a binder full of certificates that I'm a master of, enter whatever modality. I'm just enjoying myself, really. It's not hard. Like, I could never go work out. I couldn't walk across it. I couldn't even walk to the refrigerator, and I had a binge eating disorder.
Or up the stairs.
Or the stairs. Forget about it. So, like, I am excited to, like, go work out.
I was suicidal. I was very depressed. I was ready just to take my own life and say, I'm out of here. And by taking this course and these other courses, I was able to release all the suicidal feelings I had since I was 12, and I'm no longer depressed.
I'm not drinking anymore for 40 days. I feel so like I don't need a drink to feel confident. You know, the past is gone. I'm no longer that person anymore.
I've worked at this anger my whole life. I've every book out there, so many counseling, everything, just to try to get a handle on it. Never. And now the past, been about 3 months, that it's just been amazing. I don't feel that anger come up. This time it's like I don't feel that anger. I don't feel that rage coming up that I did before. And about 5 weeks ago, I gave up the gum, which I realized the first time in 42 years that I've been nicotine free.
For the first time, I feel safe walking. I didn't feel that sensation that somebody was want to hurt me or do something wrong to me. And we walked last night, and I was feeling so peaceful. I said, Randy, I feel like we can walk and walk and walk, and I don't feel that sensation.
I know I'm standing up straighter and I'm walking better.
You're much more present. Do you notice that?
Yes.
See how you're looking at me in the eyes now?
Yes.
You weren't like that before. It's really noticeable. It's hard to be present when you're in pain.
Yes.
When you get out of pain, you can actually start getting more and more present.
Yes.
And that's what happened. At least it looks like that to me.
Yeah.
And I just knew in my heart that this was the only thing that was going to help us. Because John and I are trained, we are master level trained in so many modalities, it's unbelievable. We're Reiki master teachers, we're NLP masters. I mean, you name it, we've done Qigong, we have done everything you can imagine. And that doesn't mean those things don't work. They do work, but they don't permanently erase. I woke up, and one of the things that I cleared was this depression that I had had for years. And we get a letter that our appeal had been heard, we were getting this money, it was close to $100,000. What it did for us is it paid off every single one of these credit cards, got us out of this hole we were in, and I had already lifted the depression, so it gave me hope.
How long have you been depressed for?
Well, I would say my whole life, but I really noticed it. Huge depression since 1983. I've had a lot of the same issues that you've had, with my childhood. So anyway, I am not depressed anymore.
So I'm just really grateful to have these tools, because I didn't think I would ever get to this point.
I'm not dying now, and thanks to Arnoux.
Now, I remember that you used to have a backpack of pharmaceutical drugs you used to carry with you everywhere. Do you remember that?
I didn't leave the house without that. It was just been an amazing experience going through all those courses, and quite the life transformation, I have to say. And I'm alive and kicking, so.
Well, this guy here is the real deal. I've known him for many years now. I've used his 7 steps and the 5-step emotional eraser, and it is life transforming.
My life has been, I feel like I woke up in a different universe, literally since that day.
It's just been amazing. It's just been amazing. I can't even explain how I feel, and I think most of you know, because you're all feeling that way.
Yeah.
But I haven't felt like this in, probably since I was a kid. When I walked in, somebody told me to go look at the first picture I took when I got here, and then to go look at myself in the mirror. And I did that, and I see a difference.
I started to feel better, started to have more energy, less pain, more focus in class, because I also go to school full-time. I started feeling better overall, and I just went to the doctor and got my blood work done again for my antibody count and everything with my thyroid, and I just got the results back yesterday over the phone. I'm waiting for the letter, and I am now out of Hashimoto's disease.
So my business has taken a wonderful upspring, have resulted in my first keynote speaking event at a retreat.
And a lot of you know my daughter and I, since I've become an empty nester, has been up and down. So I did it, and here we are again, back together again. So it works. It truly, truly works.
But just to open that up and to see where those emotions are coming from, and how to clear them, and in the process of replacing them, now it's changed everything. My business has increased probably at least five times.
I cleared self-sabotage and betrayal, self-betrayal. And that's huge. And then I cleared being able to be successful.
I cleared a lifelong pattern of quitting everything I do.
So what I cleared, or mostly cleared, was the blockage of doing this for myself.
My nephew was murdered in 2012, and we've been going to court. There were 4 defendants. We've been going to court for 6 years. In my head, I was working on my anger for that specific day, so that when I went on that day, I wouldn't be angry. And what's happened is I have gone to court many, many times.
I was seeing a lot of war and a lot of rape, murder, and which makes so much sense because in my people, we were like nomadic, and we don't really have a country, right? So they've moved around. It was just really interesting to see that and to tie it to like this feeling of deep sorrow that I always feel, and so that was interesting.
Did you feel anything release as you complete the steps?
Absolutely.
I felt like something broke, like that rock broke, and
I was just so high after that because I'm like, wow, this is really cool. I'm not broken, which I know, at face value I'm not, but deep down it was like, oh, what's wrong with me? So I was able to clear 2 cool things here, which both happened around the age of 1.
I had cleared a bulk of fear.
I did the YES training in the 80s. Then I did the Hoffman process, and we beat on our cushions, and that was supposed to clear stuff with Mom and Dad.
How did this week compare to those courses and those programs?
Oh my goodness, there's no comparison. There really isn't. The 5 steps were really good to seeing how my family was in this poverty mentality, and I got to see where it all started. And I thought I cleared a lot of stuff in the 7 steps. I felt so good, and I thought there's no more to do. But my goodness sakes, I'm stunned that there was indeed more to do. I cleared an immense amount of emotion with my dad, who left when I was 2. I didn't really know him, and it was really, really powerful.
I had a major breakthrough, and now I have lost 25 pounds, so I've doubled my weight loss.
I've now lost 70 pounds. My blood sugar went from an average of 120 on the medication, full medication, to between 99 and 114 on half the medication. Went to my doctor 2 days ago. She said, we don't need to do an angiogram. She's no longer worried about my heart itself. She's now focusing on getting rid of the arterial diseases, the arterial buildup in my blood. And we also found out that I have calcium buildup. So that I believe through this whole process, that's going to get rectified as well.
Mm-hmm.
So from where I started to where I'm at today, I'm just ecstatic, and I'm completely happy. I don't think I could have done this on my own.
I feel happy, I'm enjoying my life, and I'm telling you, this thing works.
And I also cleared the fear of succeeding and also self-attack and self-sabotage for not doing what I wanted to do.
I'm learning so much more about myself when I just sit in silence. I'm no longer scared of silence anymore. I don't feel like I am trapped or anything like that.
I used to live in lack, and I'm not living like that anymore.
Wow.
From 2011 till this year, we have not spoken. We have not talked. And I used all this, 7 steps and the 5 steps ERT to get really neutral to him. So I was fine. Like everything was, I didn't feel hurt, I didn't feel pain, but I still had some rocks. And so Arnoux helped me for the last few weeks. And he's texting me now for the first time.
And I cleared stuff that changed my life.
Women in my life, so-called friends in my life, all of a sudden started dropping off because I was no longer housing this predatory energy anymore.
This just shows me how much I've changed.
It really gave me the ability and the tools to create a life that I love to live, that I wake up happy every day and I'm super excited about my life. And so Arnoux really gave me the ability to believe in who I am, become more of the essence of my being.
There was a graduation party after the course, and Wendy's mom and a whole bunch of her family, like 10 people, came. And her mom came up to me and said, I bought Wendy's ticket to the training because I can only afford one, and I needed her to go because we all thought that she was going to die. I had sent, that's what her mom said. She said, I had sent Wendy a letter telling her that I will raise her children for her because we all expected that she's going to die. She had been diagnosed with a severe problem with her brain and brainstem and swelling, and she had basically a very, very long, 20-year-long migraine. Is that right? And every medication and every doctor in the world did nothing. And then she met me. She took the solution. She took the foundation. That was in 2010 and 11. That was a long time ago. She's not dead.
I came here 3 months ago, so I could actually see the shift.
Even I lose weight, that it was really, really difficult for me. And I'm feeling like I am beautiful. I'm feeling like I can do everything in my life. And then even running, my husband, he's changing. I didn't do anything. I just work in myself. My life now is totally different. I don't feel like a before. I feel like I'm 20-year-old.
And overnight I shifted, and I thought it was going to be so hard, but Arnoux, you just made it so easy, and it just kept validating that I'm on the right course. I just invite you all of you to give this man a chance with this awesome course, because it is by far the best course.
And finally get to the bottom of this pain that I was feeling, which was about feeling worthy, or that my presence was even important, which is the catalyst to how I was able to even do the public speaking today at the way that I did.
Wow. How many of you got rid of some crap this week? Look, everybody did.
Truckloads. And I've always known that I've got a big spirit, female, that protector that has been with me for forever. And there she is. And so that's where all that love is coming from. But I never had a name for her. And it was Mom. And so what I came to is that my mother's spirit, that we have been together forever.
So it's my assumption that the reason why you made those goals is because they're an expression of your heart and your soul, and not that past tragedy, but that past tragedy was in the way of it being made manifest, which is why it was so important for you to erase it.
I went and did that tool on a 3-year-old, and she told me, Mimi, it flew away.
See, this work is not just in our field, it's everything that's around us, and everything that changes. I mean, it's been 8 years since I've even spoke to this woman, but I feel like today there was a whole connection there. This work is amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome. The results and benefits of our training are only available to members of our private association. To learn more, call 877-680-8200 or visit TotalHealthMasteryUSA.com/7 steps.